Hello there, folks. This video today is going to talk about methods of mapping your tags to different items, or different methods of mapping tags. And so what we have here is a little simple application talking to a Modbus TCP slave. So in this application team, over in communications, we've got up a driver set up as a Modbus master. And then right below there, we have some device called the DA70, and it's just acting as a Modbus slave that we're going to be polling it for data. And normally when I teach classes, I always tell people that you go to your data tags and you create some tags, and I will teach you that your best bet is to just map the tags directly to the PLC or whatever you're talking to. So for instance, here, you can see I got the DA70 here. That's what I picked. And I'm just mapping things to holding registers. So all of these tags over here are just going in order of the first 40,001 to 40,010 holding registers. Notice that all of these tags are green. That means they're mapped read-only, that's green, and they're mapped to some external device. If I go to these other tags, for instance, you can see I've got another category here called GatewayBlocks. And below here, I've got a category called automatic, continuous, and timed. Notice something about all these, team. They're all blue. If you notice, all these tags are blue. That's because they're internal tags, and from here, they're not actually mapped to anything. They're not connected to anything. They're just simply an internal tag. So what we are going to do here, I'll show you. Again, this is how I prefer to teach people how to map their tags, but some people have done this. And I'll go over here to communications, and under communications, it's possible that when you click on a device here, if you grab the slider over here and slide to the bottom, most of our devices will have a gateway block option down below here. And these things here are gateway blocks. Normally, when you click on gateway block, slide down a little further here, you'll get a green block, and it's either green or red, depends on the direction of the traffic. So let me get rid of this one. So let me show you the automatic one first, okay? So here on the automatic, make this a little wider so you can see what I did. On the automatic one, we have the block starting at 40,001. So if I hit the pick button, you'll see holding registers, 40,001 here. I'm just doing word as word, no big deal. And then I did a block size of 10 here, which automatically expanded this from 40,001 down to 40,010. And then what I did is I wanted to map these to some tags. So I just clicked on the first 40,001, for instance. Notice how crimson changes quite a bit. Now I'm in the data tags. Usually it'll come over, it's in the devices, but I'm going to go to data tags. And since I'm working on the automatic, I expanded the automatic tree. And then I just went here, and what I'll do, you can either drag this over here like this, or team, you can double click, and that will automatically just go right down the order like you see here. See, I'm just going to double, it's doing the same thing. But maybe I'll do this. Hold on. Delete this block. There we go. And I'll add another one here just so you can see. We'll just do it the long way here so you can see. And I'll call this one automatic. And 40,001 right here. Boom. We're going to do 10 registers right there. I'm going to change the direction because I want to write the data to these internal tags. So now if I click here, I'll just go boom, boom. And you can see as I double click on each one of these, it automatically adds it to the list. Perfect. Okay, so the automatic set is to update automatically. There's also a continuous method. So you have here automatic, continuous. So I have another block here that's going to update these tags continuously. Also, by the way, if you look right here, there's a very small arrow going from the left to the right side, which means it's going to take data from these registers and put it into these internal tags. So that's what that, if I change the direction here, go to a green, it's hard to tell in the video, but now the arrow is going from the right to the left side. So we want to go the other way though. So, okay, so continuous is one other method I got set up. And then I also have down here another one called timed. And I'm trying to show you guys how these three methods differ and operate. So in the timed method, you can put in an update period here that will determine how often this gateway block executes. You can also go further, team, where you can actually manually control your gateway blocks through a request acknowledge here. But in this video, we're not going to play with that today. We're going to focus on these. So this is what a customer had called the other day about, and they were mentioning that their screens were updating about once a second or seemed to have some lag. And so when I dug into their program, I noticed this, and that's what kind of threw me for the loop here. So let me show you what's going to happen here. So we're going to go to display pages. And on the display page, here's what I have. I've got all these tags up here that we can watch them here. And this column right here, these tags right here are coming directly from the mapped direct. That's what those are. Those are coming from there. The rest of these are coming from the gateway blocks. And then I also went one step further. I wrote a simple program over here on the left. I have a simple C program. And in the C program, all I'm doing here is I'm taking the mapped directly tags, that's these guys, and I'm putting it to some other internal tags. And the beauty of this concept is that this program here only gets updated when I push this button. If I right click on this run program and go to properties, oops, that's a group. Hold on, let me go into this guy. There we go. You'll see right here that on the action tab for the run program, when I release, that's when I execute. So these tags only get updated when I click the button. So let's go ahead and download this to our current HMI here team, see what's happening, and I'll pull up that web page here, see if it updates here. Okay, so here we are looking live at that particular screen, and we're seeing the data. So these tags here are being mapped directly. Notice they're updated pretty quick. This is set up as automatic. This one is set up as continuous. And this column is set up as timed. And this column here is only when I run the program. So if I click the button here, let's see what it does. Boom. You can see these tags got a snapshot when I click it. If I happen to click this button a little faster, you can see, bam, 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 it updates just as fast as I click it there. Okay, so notice the timed. This was the discussion that brought this video up. See how it's kind of got some latency, or it's a little slow there? Well, if I go back to Crimson, go back to communications, and if I update this to say, I don't know what's the smallest number I can put in. I don't know. Apparently the smallest number is 50. So if I put this to 50 milliseconds here, and go ahead and download this to our screen, go back to our web browser here, see if it updates here. That's some good coffee this morning. So now this guy here is running a 50 millisecond update. It's looking pretty close to the rest of the others. So that's one way you can speed that up. I personally, I'm not a fan of the timed, but some people might have an application for that. So that's how that operates. If you happen to go into the Crimson manual, help and about, or help and pull down, there's a manual. In section 4.114, there is a description about the gateway blocks. And in here, there's a section that covers the update policy. So the automatic mode right here, the automatic mode, will cause the read blocks to update continuously and the write blocks to transfer only when those values have changed. So right now we're doing basically some read blocks. A continuous will cause all blocks to update continuously, including the reads and the writes. So that will continually force an output there. And a setting of a timed will cause all blocks to update at a rate defined by the update period. So right now you saw I changed that to 1,000 milliseconds. You can see that latency. So that's kind of where that document is, or that information is found. One more thing, let me go back to Crimson. Just for giggles, let's change this to say 5,000 milliseconds. Let's see what this does. So now our timed interval should be more like 5 seconds. Let's see how long it takes to update. Yep, and you can see there, It's happening about every 5 seconds. If I click this button, you can see here the run program. I can click that. It's cranking away here. Yeah. Yep. So that works pretty good with the timed. Okay. So the other thing I was going to do, I did on this the other day, is I went a little fancy. I said, wonder what. I got to thinking, well, what's the speed difference between automatic and this here, maybe? So I'm going to grab this whole section right here, and I'm going to try to see if I can place it slightly on top like this. How about like that? Slightly offset. You see I got it slightly offset like that. Let's download and see what our latency looks like here. This is in the automatic mode. Now, if you look, it's spot on because the font's all the same. Nothing changed. If I go over and click here, that looks like it's pretty good. So let's see if I can figure out if I can grab that thing. Well, maybe I won't. Hold on. I want to grab that conglomeration of stuff. There we go. Okay, so I'm put this back down here. Let's see if I put this up here. See if there's anything with this method that might be different. Let's see here. Now I placed the continuous on there. And you can see it's pretty much spot on the same as well. Only really the timed one appears to possibly have the legacy or the latency. So again, with the time one, we went and changed that time, updated much faster. One other thing I did here too, while I was playing around with this, I noticed that the web page, I don't know how fast the web page updates, but it's got these graphics and so forth. And I was thinking, well, how could I see this even faster changing? So what I did in Crimson is I went over here to the web server. And in the web server, you normally have your regular web server. You turn it on, maybe go to features, and in the features area up here on top, you'll hit yeah. Anyway, I've got web 1 here, set up map directly, automatic. These are continuous tags, timed, and this one here is from program. So I went ahead and downloaded this to the HMI, and where you can see these is if I hit the back arrow here of the browser, and if I hit the view data, these ones will take you to those other pages. So what I did prior to starting this display or this video, I went ahead and pre-opened all of those, and I want you to see something here. I'm going to try to stack them where you can see all of them. And we'll put this guy in front by clicking on it. So this one's the timed interval right here. It's running every 5 seconds. Here's continuous. Here's map directly. So you can see that in this button back here, this one here is program. Of course, I'm not clicking the button here. I could. Let me try something. Here, hold on. Let's see here, team. If I wanted to call that program automatically from there, I could do this. I guess I could go here. I could create a numeric tag, a flag tag, put it out here in the main, put it there. And let's just call this one call program, for instance. And on the program, I'm going to go over here to triggers, and I'm going to say anytime it goes on, I'm going to go to programs over here, and I'm going to call this program. And then because I don't want to toggle it from there, watch what I do here. I'll go down here to active on, and I'm going to say, I don't know, I'll put 100 milliseconds. After 100 milliseconds, I want this thing to go back off. So I'll take call program back to 0. 1 equal sign assigns the value, 2 equal signs will ask the question. So we'll do that. And then we'll go over here to our web server, and we're going to add this special thing right up here, right up on top. Okay, let's download this and see what happens. We'll go back to our browser, and this should work fine. We'll go back to the main list. Nothing different there. That looks great. But once again, I'm going to go across these pages. I wish there was an easier way to do this. I don't know how to do it. So this is what you get. And we'll go to this last one. And now, if you look here, I can click in here. Did I not turn on the, hold on. Did I not turn on data entry? Hold on a second here. allow editing. Darn it, I gotta make this. I gotta make it so we can change it. My fault. Small dilemma there, team. All right, let's go back to our views here. Okay, so I got them all open again, and this time I can click in here, and I can hit the, well, I should be able to. All right, so maybe in this shrunken screen, or let me go back. Okay, all right, well, hold on. Let me reopen that. Maybe that's the problem, that thing. Let me go back to here, go to view the data. Let me open that up again in a new tab. Yeah, where did it go? Or I'm not a new tab. I'll do a new window. That's what I want. Yep. All right, so here we go. So now if I click here in the edit, I should be able to turn it on. Okay. And you can see it opened up or it edited right there. If I make this guy a little smaller, like so, and I'll pull up this one. So this kind of side by side like this. So if I click here, make it on, boom, values update. So if you notice this one was at that instance, negative 694, click OK again. And there. So anyway, that's a quick video, team, talking about different methods of mapping your tags. I always teach, I prefer to have you map them directly like this, but some people have used GatewayBlocks. That's just a lot of extra work. The only time I really like GatewayBlocks' team is when you're doing protocol conversion. That's the only time I really emphasize using this. Otherwise, simply just map your tags directly to the registers in the device you're talking to. Anyway, thanks a lot. Have a great day. If you want this program to look at as an example or something, send me an email and I'll be glad to share it with you. See you later, folks. Have a great day.